Welcome to the Play World Cup. I'm James.
And I am Jason.
And we are bringing you the second week of matches. Just a quick reminder, if you'd like to sponsor the tournament or make a donation, just head off to our website at playworldcup.com.au and hit the donate button or hit the donate thing up the top.
Yep.
There's instructions there. It's all fun. It's good. It's a brand new button.
Fun.
Did you see it?
You should click it.
It's deliciously orange. It's a lozenge. A delicious lozenge. Anyway, we are going into the first game here of Endgame Studios versus Desura, and we are on Tyrador Keep. Now, just a quick notice about this game. Quite a long game, so we are going to speed through certain bits and pieces of it, but when there's action aplenty, we'll be slowing down for all of the delicious, delicious action.
That's right, we will be. So to start off with, we've got Griddler here spawning as the blue Terran for Endgame Studios, and then we also have Frezned spawning as the green Zerg.
Now we have the orange Terran Henley, and up top we have the purple Terran Lodle for Desura.
Alright, so we see Lodle here, yep, so we are seeing a wall off here for Desura. With two Terrans, you would definitely be expecting to get this base walled off pretty quickly. And we do see Griddler doing much of the same thing.
Now, I would expect with two Terrans, you're probably going to see quite a defensive playstyle out of them. I mean, you can probably, in this map in particular, you have quite a large area that you can kind of defend. And there's really only two ways into the base. The first is up the top, which is sort of pretty much about to be walled off.
Yep.
But the second, which is of note in both bases, is these huge destructible rocks that hide this giant ramp. So as soon as those rocks go down, your base is really vulnerable to just a massive amount of space. So you have to be quite careful with that, and it's really important to get vision on those rocks as we see Endgame Studios doing straight away.
Yeah, you want to know if those rocks, you want to make sure that those rocks are up and have as much notice as possible if they are coming down. We do see a Reaper, though, on the field for Lodle. I believe this will be for scouting, as they have not jumped into the base yet of Endgame Studios. So checking the base to the west. That is the west, yes, and seeing that there is no one there, so now probably going to head down to Endgame's actual base, although at the same time we do see Frezned with some early Zerglings and attacking these rocks, which unfortunately I don't think Desura has any vision of.
No, you're right. I don't think they do, so that may go down completely unnoticed by them. In the meantime, we've got that Reaper doing some damage on the mineral line here and focusing down that mule. Very important to focus down the mules because they get a lot more minerals in their giant crabby claws.
That's right. That'll slow down the economy a little bit there of Griddler, but the Reaper getting a nice scout off, might even be able to escape with his life, although no, the Queen popping it off, but the Reaper does see that Baneling nest, although if we look back to Frezned now, he is spawning those Banelings after taking down those rocks, so it looks like Desura might be in a little bit of trouble here, although they have noticed at the very last minute that those rocks have gone down. And here we go, Henley engaging with these Zerglings, not noticing the Banelings behind the tall grass, and Frezned has done a great job at knocking down that army, although we do have some siege tanks now up for Lodle.
So those Zerglings in the long grass there, they're not actually visible unless you walk inside of that circle. So it's a really good place to hide units.
Definitely. It's like a little place for landmines there. You just put your Banelings there and the Marines walk across the grass and then all of a sudden...
Blam!
Dead.
Never go in the long grass if you're a Marine. It spells certain doom.
Definitely.
In the meantime, though, down in Endgame Studios base, it looks like we might be seeing a drop here. We've got 8 Marines and a medevac sort of circling around, trying to find a good spot. And he's decided the best spot is right in the freaking middle.
Line, and those Marines are tearing through these SCVs of Griddler.
Great pickup there as well, although they did do quite a bit of damage to that medevac. But every single Marine survived that encounter. Now we see a siege tank drop.
And these 3 Marines focusing down that medevac, so killing the medevac, and then the siege tank and Zerglings coming in at the end to make short work of those Marines. But I think the damage has been done. Griddler's economy is definitely in a little bit of trouble. Although we may be seeing a counter push here from Frezned, but tanks now on the high ground from both Henley and Lodle is going to make, along with those bunkers, is going to make this entrance just as hard to break as this one here.
We're also seeing a command center up the top there, which means Lodle's going to have his expansion up relatively quickly. Although we've also seen Frezned expand down the bottom here. He's establishing his expansion as well.
So all 4 players now with their expansions up. Mm-hmm. Although now Henley moving out with a decent-sized force of Marines and Marauders, possibly looking to take down the rocks of Endgame as well. Although tanks on the high ground here from Griddler are putting an end to that. So,
quick scan going up there just to give Desura a bit of awareness about where all those tanks are placed. But we're going to see, I think, a lot of emphasis on those strategic siege tanks on the high ground.
Definitely. So Griddler moving another tank over here just to cover that other half of the rocks. The first half, of course, covered by this siege tank. So those rocks well and truly covered now. And we do see an SCV now from Lodle just having a walk around the map, probably doing some scouting, checking there's no hidden bases or anything like that, or potentially may even be doing a hidden base of his own. And we do see Frezned also with a bit of a scout, with the Mutalisk scout getting a little eyeful of that SCV, but not seeing any base go down. So just going for a scout around the map, making sure there's nothing that they are not prepared for. And
we've got quite a few Mutalisks on the map now for Frezned. Looks like he's done a bit of investment in that, and he would want to do a bit of... Ooh, we've got a battle in the middle here. We've got Marines Marauders v Marines Marauders, and get cleaned up as well with those Zerglings assisting. Yeah, those Mutalisks, I think he would want to do some harassment on the mineral line there, but might find it tough because there's now a sensor tower up and there's a fair few Vikings on the field, so that's going to make it very tough to harass. And in the meantime, we've got 2 medevacs full of Marines, so that's 16 Marines and 5 Vikings... 6 Vikings making their way across the map there.
Looking to do a drop, and we do also see that Lodle has expanded, so setting up a secret base up in the top left corner of the map, sitting his army here, although Frezned fully aware of that, considering he has both watchtowers, so they've seen the army there, so this should give Endgame enough time to prepare for
We've got a lot of towers going up now as well.
Towers, Hydras, Vikings, and some Marines down here by the tank. So I will be interested in seeing if this drop can do any damage at all. Those Vikings going down.
Oh, both medevacs going down.
Both medevacs going down. And I don't even know whether Endgame suffered any losses in that.
Not a single Marine made it out either. So 16 Marines bite the dust with...
that was an expensive drop for Lodle. We do see some Mutalisk harass from Frezned now, also getting a great scout of the base, seeing what production facilities are around, and getting a chance to pick off at some tanks.
Got to be careful of those Vikings, though. They are sort of swooping around here, and that's going to make it tough for Mutalisks to do too much harassment.
We do see the Mutalisks now spotting this hidden expansion, so I will be interested in seeing how long this expansion can live now that Endgame know it's alive. They don't want to fall behind on economy, so it is in their best interest to see if they can get rid of it before it gets going. I do see Henley poking down with a little force, but not enough, especially with these siege tanks on the high ground. Another small engagement, but this army from Endgame looking like it's well.
Be careful, though. Don't want to get in range of those siege tanks either.
No, you do not. So we actually might have to leave this game right here for the first part and jump into the second game to see what happens to this secret base. So I hope you guys join us then.